Hello, soul family. Welcome. Welcome to this teaching. It's called Quantum Heart Mind Resonance. So, today we're going to be not only diving into a deeper understanding of how our mind and our hearts can work together and how they can support you to co-create a life that is way more abundant in the sense of coherence, in the sense of joyful, peaceful, and also abundant in every manner of ways, right? But we're also going to go into a deep activation to bring into coherence both the mind and the heart, because life as we live it now, for most people, the mind and the heart aren't in resonance. In fact, they're two very separate entities that are doing what they're doing in all great manner of ways, but they're doing it separately. And being separate, we're going to discuss this more in the teaching, being separate and not in coherence means that we're not activating their full potential, because both the mind and the heart are such intricate, potent technologies that we have as humans. So, yeah, I'm really excited to take you on this journey. If you've never done a quantum activation, quantum healing before, don't worry. Do not worry. I'm going to guide you through the whole thing, and it's going to be an experience. It's going to be something that is going to take your whole experience of life into a whole nother realm, right? And a realm that's already been there, a realm that already exists and has existed since you were born. You've just maybe never stepped into that realm. So today we're going to be talking, like I said, about the heart and the mind and the two intelligences separately, and also bringing them together and speaking about how when they come together, what that activates, what that can do for you. So firstly, let's drop into the body. Let's come in with the breath into the heart, taking deep breaths in through the nose and slowly exhaling from the mouth, and placing your hands on your heart if you can, just so we can really land in this moment, in the present moment, in the only moment that is existing right now, the now. And as you breathe consciously in and out, bringing your awareness into the heart space firstly. And just noticing how the mind is responding. For some of you, the mind may be okay and you can gently land in the heart and remain in the heart. For others, the mind may be calling for your attention, and that's okay. The mind may be bringing your awareness back up to it. It may be speaking loudly. It may be bringing your attention to things that you haven't done yet, to-do lists you haven't fulfilled. Just letting the mind know that you're witnessing it, that it's safe, that you're not about to let it go, that it's doing an amazing job, and that what you're going to be embarking on is supportive for it. It's not about to be wiped out. Its job isn't about to be replaced by the heart. what's going to be happening is that you're going to be taking on a greater awareness of the intelligence of your mind, of the technology that your mind holds for you. That you're going to support the mind to be heard, witnessed, and also bring its skills into greater use, right? Because we only use a small fraction of our minds right now. So just letting it know that even though it might be a little bit afraid because what's happening is not usually what it's used to, or that it senses that something different is going to happen, let it know that it's for its highest good and that it is safe. And that you're going to be bringing it into resonance with its counterpart, its companion, the heart, so that it can work together with the heart for greater impact, so that both intelligences can support each other and amplify each other. And just asking the mind's permission now for this. Just asking that it feels okay to be doing this and that you're going to be supporting it every step of the way. And then if it has objections along the way, that you will be listening to it. You will be learning how to listen to it, not rejecting it. And also being called to ask the mind for forgiveness for all the times that you have either rejected it or been super hard on it for being loud or for having certain processes, thoughts, opinions, for any time that you've thought it's not done well enough. Just asking your heart now for forgiveness. Sorry, your mind now for forgiveness. Letting it know that from now on, you will be honoring it. You won't be giving it too much responsibility and overloading it and putting too much pressure on it to do well or to provide you with every answer that you need or to keep you safe all of the time, because you've been working your mind really hard and it's tired. And just feeling now the difference in that frequency that your mind's holding. And now asking it just to relax and take a moment. Now coming into the heart space, dropping deeper into the body and coming into the heart. And just feeling that warm embrace, that love held within the heart space. Thanking your heart for welcoming you. Asking your heart if it agrees to go on this journey with you today, to bring more of it online, to support it to connect more deeply with the intelligence of your mind, to bring them both into resonance, into coherence. And just noticing how the heart responds to this. And letting the heart know that you want to witness it and hear it in everything that it has to offer. And once again, asking for forgiveness for not fully being aware or being online to the intelligence with which your heart holds. Because your heart holds such potent intelligence. It's such a potent technology. It's not just an organ that keeps us alive, that pushes blood around our system. It's an energetic portal, a technology and intelligence that holds so much love and so much light that when we tune into it, we can completely shift, transmute, and alchemize energies, pain, decades of heaviness in mere moments. Just allowing yourself to feel the power of what you hold within you. And that's just a fraction of the power that you are. And just taking a deep breath into the heart. And just feeling the expansiveness of your heart. And this is only part of the journey that we're going to be going on today. So when you're ready, just slowly taking some breaths to bring you back into the body. Bring you back into this time and space, this moment. Wiggling those fingers and toes. And just take a moment when you're opening your eyes, just take a moment just to feel into your energy and how it's shifted. Oh. Like for me, my heart feels like it's out here, and in just like 10 minutes or so, we can completely shift the frequency of our field, of our body, of our mind, of our hearts. And when we're conscious of how we can work with our energy in this way, my God, you are bringing online such powerful tools that we can use in our walking, waking life. So yeah, just take a moment to feel into how you're feeling. And just make a note of how that 10 minutes has shifted you, just through that intention of connection and speaking to components of your body, right? And noticing, how do we usually speak to these parts of ourselves, to all parts of ourselves? But today we're going to be focusing on the mind and the heart. How do you usually speak to your mind? The mind for me is a part of me that I've been undergoing mastery with it. I've always been very connected to my mind. And in some ways and times it's felt negative, right? Where I've just been in my head so much and it's kind of taken me over. But over the 40 years of my life, the 42 years of my life, right? This mastery that I have come into with my mind has shown me that actually our mind is such a loyal servant to us, right? It's our computer, right? It's a technology that we have. We just haven't been taught how to use it properly. Now, when I say that I've had this relationship with my mind where I've mastered it, some of you may resonate with this, but I've always been so deep into learning, right? Into learning, into reading, into figuring things out in the mental realm. Right? I'm a deeply spiritual person. Spiritual in the sense of like I play in the realms of the quantum. You know, I connect to my heart, I connect to energy. I've always been this way, but I've also been very connected to the mental realm, to my mind, to the technology of my mind. And I always felt like you're either one or the other. And that's how sometimes the New Age spiritual or the New Age personal development space has spoken about the mind. It's like, well, if you're in your head all the time, you know, then that's not a good thing. You need to be in your body, you need to be in the heart. To be a spiritual person or to connect with energy, you need to be in the body, embodiment, right? And the mind is a place that if you reside there too much, it's a negative thing. I don't know if you resonate with that, if you've heard that, if you felt that in your journey. But that for me was something that, you know, it's like, oh, I'm in my masculine, right? Oh, I'm always thinking, I'm in my masculine. But over the years, and especially over the last few years, I've really come to love my mind. And looking back, I've really come to understand how my mind is such a beautiful intelligence and how actually it supports everything that we have is so supportive for us. Anything we've been told otherwise is not true. It's a lie. It's an illusion, right? Including the ego. We've all been taught to kind of push aside the ego, and this is all part of the mind. Our ego is a part of us that's been the way that I have been shown it and the way that I work with it is that our ego, instead of seeing it as something negative, as trying to control us, it's a part or parts of us that are afraid, that are alone, that have been shunned, that have been pushed away, and is made up a lot of our inner child, right? It's a lot of the parts of our inner child. So I hope today that we're going to reframe and you're going to understand and build a relationship with your mind in a completely different way where we can bring back parts of you that you've pushed away, you know, parts of you where you've not felt good enough, where you have been afraid and wanted to lock away that element of you, right? Because many people have learned to meditate, let's say, by trying to shut off the mind. Now, most of you that have ever tried that will know how impossible that is, right? And the more that you try to shut off your mind in that very kind of rejective, forceful way, the more that your mind is going to get louder. It's just like if you have a toddler and they are speaking to you and they're trying to get your attention. The more that you kind of say, shh, be quiet. I don't have time for you right now. You should be quiet right now. The louder they're going to get, the more rejected they're going to feel, right? The more that you kind of come down to their level and look at them and say, hey, sweetheart, what do you need? I'm listening. No, even if they're screaming and shouting, they're going to calm. They're going to feel that connection. And it's the same with your mind. So that's one of the first things that I want you to take from this teaching is, if you have been rejecting of your mind, if you have felt as though your ego is a negative part of you, try to reframe that connection that you have with your mind, and understand that your mind is a powerful piece of technology. It's your computer that without it, let's be honest, would you be living? Would you be human? Would you be able to take part in this reality? No. It has so many qualities that we need, that are complementary, that when they come into harmony with the resonance of our heart, just advance us, right? That shift us completely into a whole new way of living. So take note of how you've been in relationship with your mind, and start to try to bring in a gentle way of communicating with it, and also a patient way of communicating with it. Now, I want to touch upon this idea of ADHD, right? There are so many diagnoses of ADHD right now, and a lot of people resonate with that diagnosis. In the past, I would have probably, about 5 years ago, if it was a thing, it wasn't 5 years ago, I would have been like, oh my gosh, yes, I tick all the boxes for ADHD. And what I want to say to that, and hopefully this is medicine for somebody listening, is that ADHD, the way that I have connected with it and understood it as somebody that would have said that they had the symptoms of it, is a symptom of being kind of traumatized into the mind, being traumatized out of emotion, out of the body, and into the mind, and actually being in the mind and being so heavily connected to the mind, but without knowing how to be there. So what do I mean by that? Meaning that what's coming through is that ADHD is almost like your mind is in hyper awareness and is hyper afraid all of the time, right? Meaning that it's unable to be settled, and it's got no grounding, right? It's kind of bouncing around a million thoughts a minute, meaning that the mind is then sending signals to the body to not be able to be focused, to not be able to be still, right? And also the mind isn't able to be focused and still, and so we're bouncing around from lots and lots of different things. Now, today's activation and teaching, if you feel as though you resonate or you actually have an ADHD diagnosis, I'm hoping it's going to support you, because we're going to be giving the mind a grounding into the body, a connection with the heart, where it can feel supported by its friend, right? Where it can feel the love of its friend, where it's going to have a channel to be able to put that extra energy, really, right? Because ADHD can also feel as though, and it's different for everybody, right? And I'm going from what it felt like for me. It felt like there was just so much energy here. This is what it felt like in physical form. Just this vibration, so much energy, so many thoughts, and a lot of them negative, critical thoughts, a lot of them comparative thoughts, a lot of them judgmental. It's not like they were really positive thoughts, right? A lot of them Also, because the energy wasn't able to be grounded into the body, meaning that I wasn't able to take the action that I needed to take in order to dispel that energy, right? We have a thought, we want to do something. What usually happens is we ground that energy into the body and we take that action, we take that aligned action. And actually, when that doesn't happen, the energy just stays up here. But then also because we haven't taken the action, and the action is to do something in order to support ourselves, whether it's to move forward in our lives, to do something in our business, to do something with our education, with our family, with loved ones, whatever it is, right? The narrative then comes up of, oh, well, of course, you're not good enough. You haven't done it. You procrastinate. You're lazy, right? So just know if that's something that you resonate with in your life, that this experience we're going to be touching upon today, and we are going to only really be touching on the mind and the heart and their coherent resonance, because it's such huge huge topic and a huge energy and a huge technologies that we're going to be tapping into. But just know that it's going to support you and allow you to be able to ground the energy of your mind, which is something we've really not been taught how to do. And our generation, I'm sure most people watching this are in and around my generation. Our generations have been very emotionally traumatized. Even if we haven't gone through severely hideous things, we've been very emotionally traumatized. There's been a lot around, you have to be the good girl and not show too much emotion, and don't cry and be like this, and we've got to be these feminists, and we've got to actually work really hard, and we've actually also got to be mothers, and blah blah blah, all these limitations that have been put on us. And then for men as well, it's like, you're not allowed, you've got to be a strong man, you're not allowed to feel your emotions, man up, go out and work, earn the money, be successful, right? Our generations really truly and every generation has their own issues, and our generations really truly have been traumatized up into the mind. So it's no surprise to me that these diagnoses of ADHD is so prevalent. So yeah, I just wanted to add that little bit in. So where was I before that tangent? So yeah, the mind is a really powerful intelligence, right? And it's our computer. And the amount of information that our mind takes in and filters and uses to support us is tremendous, right? And because we've never really been taught how to use the mind, really, we've limited our capability of using the mind, right? Because what we do know is, it's what's talked about a lot, is that the mind likes to go into its negative spaces, and the mind is all about safety and it wants to control, right? Now, yes, that's one aspect of it. But to really master the mind, we have to really understand the other spectrum, the full spectrum of the mind. Because if it can take in information and use it to create what we know to be true, right? Because that's what the mind does. The mind is this powerful technology that it sees something, it logs it, it registers it, it deems it as safe or not safe, right? And then it's there, and then it's we can continue creating that experience over and over and over and over again, right? Very easily, without having to think, yeah? But because we don't have a mastery over the mind, what happens is that's happening very haphazardly, right? And because we're not conscious and aware and present with what's going on with our mind, that's all very, like I said, all over the place, right? So you may have created patterns through that process, through coding your computer with, that's happened because it's traumatizing, because it's scary. I'm really logging it. I'm being really aware of it. That's happening. So I'm now programming my mind not to allow that to happen anymore and keep me safe, right? And actually, what that's doing is limiting us, right? Because as much as the mind is super intelligent, until we master it and support it to be fully in coherence with the heart, with love, and allow it to connect with the intelligence of the heart, it can be just very one-dimensional, two-dimensional, let's say, right? It can be very limiting. And that's why a lot of the time we talk about, it's talked about as being an old paradigm. You know, being in the mind and using the mind is very old paradigm, right? Because it's how this 3D reality has been sort of created, and it's what leads this 3D reality. And so we've kind of, new age people have tried to like shun the mind for that. But it's only because we're only using a very small fraction of how it can be used. And just going back to, it's keeping us safe and it's limiting us, right? But imagine if we could open up the potential of the mind and actually recognize its full spectrum and recognize how, yes, it does limit us through the kind of guise of keeping us safe, and actually how powerful that is and how beautiful that is, and thanking it for doing that, and really having gratitude for it doing that, and showing it love for doing that rather than rejecting it for doing that. But then also saying, well, how can I use that technology? How can I use that intelligence of the mind to actually open up my life rather than limit it? How can I use the coding? How can I code my brain? How can I code this computer to actually show me more of what's possible in this life? Because we are in just a pattern of limitation. We are in a pattern of you. It's like having a beautiful new computer and only ever knowing how to use Word and not knowing how to run any of the other programs. That's what we're doing with our mind, right? And right now, you might be like, well, I can't even perceive how else I could. Yes, okay, problem solving, great. All of those very intellectual things. But when it comes to co-creating life, when it comes to bringing a higher dimensional way of living to life, how can we use our mind? That might make you go, I can't even perceive that, right? And that's okay, because right now the mind has been trained into this very limited way of working, and it's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just we haven't opened up those realms, and we're going to be accessing that in the activation. So don't get hung up on too much of what I'm saying if it doesn't make much sense. We're just warming up the mind to try it, to get it to start to loosen up and receive different ways of responding. But what I do want you to just recognize is that it's a computer program, and it's been programmed because of our society, because of the way that we've been brought up to live, right? In a very limited way. And that is to keep us safe and to kind of problem solve. And all the problem solving is doing is keeping us safe. So if we boil everything down to what it does, is just keeping us safe. And that is just one tiny part of what our mind can do. So just opening up that perspective that the mind is capable of so much more. It's capable of co-creating the life that you want, not just through visualization, right? Through actually connecting with the heart and working in tandem with the heart, receiving messages from the heart, and actually using those messages to program new ways of being into your computer. I get such a buzz feeling into the potential of what it means to be human, right? And so many of you watching this will be, spiritually minded or already working with energy and used to being up in these higher realms, right? And being in the quantum potentially, and, loving being out in the ethers, and really not having that connection with the mind, because the mind is a very human aspect. And many of us are struggling with our human right now. And what's going on with the chaos in the world over the last few years, and particularly right now too, is it's very difficult for us to own and be proud of being human, because humanity, it just feels like a lost cause, right? But that's because we are truly only experiencing such a small fraction of how to be a human, right? And again, I'll say it again, when we bring different elements, different aspects of our mind technology online, and it will be different for everybody. Everybody has a unique magic within their mind that they can tap into, that they can tune into, a unique mastery of the mind that they can tune into. When we can discover that, when we can connect to that, and when we can bring that into resonance with the rest of the body via the heart, then all I just see is like everything opening up, everything unlocking, and just you expanding into new levels of self, new dimensional levels of self, which again, the mind may be like, what does that even mean? But just trust that you're taking what you need, and that in the activation, you will receive exactly what you need. So just tuning in just to see if there's anything else that wants to come through about the mind and its technology and its intelligence. I think there is something, but it's a bit elusive right now, so it'll come through in a moment, I'm sure. So coming into the heart, coming into the power of the heart, right? The intelligence of the heart. As I said right at the beginning, when we were tuning in energetically, our heart's not just an organ that pumps blood around the body, that has chambers that pumps blood around the body, that keeps us alive, essentially. It's not also just an electromagnetic source, which it is, right? It's a powerful electromagnetic source. It's the most powerful electromagnetic portal within our bodies, right? And when we send out frequency, it's primarily done via the heart portal. So on top of that, it's also its own multidimensional intelligence. Okay? And again, you might be like, what does she mean? Just allow it, right? Allow I trust that energetically you're receiving the codes, the intelligence, the light and intelligence that you need to receive, that you're ready to receive at this moment. So just take it all in. The heart is a really powerful portal of intelligence. And through it, within it, we each uniquely hold everything that we need for our existence. In fact, our heart portal is through which we create everything, right? We don't create our lives through doing outside of ourselves, right? Our reality, this physical reality that we see with these eyes that have a very limited perception, and again, that's linked to what we allow our mind, the perception of our minds, to receive. But this reality that we live in, that we think we create by doing outside of us, is actually created, is actually a reflection of the portal of our hearts. Our portal, our heart intelligence, is the gateway into the galactic universe, the gateway to Source and everything that Source holds, is the gateway to our potential, is the gateway to our abundance, to our love, to light, right? It all is accessible via our hearts. And most humans have closed their hearts off, have protected their hearts, have been traumatized out of their hearts, right? And have just, again, defaulted to coming up to the brain, coming up to the mind, and coming into scarcity and fear, right? Into survival. Our minds have been programmed to respond to life through the lens of survival. And meaning that it's reacting, meaning that we are reacting. And we're reacting only from this place, only from survival. When we can come back into the heart and activate the energy of our heart, the intelligence of our heart, the technologies that we have available within the vast portals of our heart. And as I speak, what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is like, you know, those beautiful images of the galactic space, you know, those purple, the universe, those purple, those stars, those purple swirls, the black and the blues and the whites and the galaxies and galaxies of stars. That's when we open into our hearts, that's what's there. That's what we have access to. Accessing other realms, accessing the quantum comes via the heart. It's through the heart, right? And when we talk about co-creation, it comes via the heart. Whatever you are witnessing within your reality, whatever's been co-created through you, is of you, is from you, is from your portal of your heart. That's what's created your reality. And so again, the more that we are disconnected from the heart, the more that we aren't in true understanding and resonance with what is being created in our world and how much expansion and abundance and love and light is pouring through us, especially if there's frequency fields, especially if we've blocked ourselves off, especially if we've got limitations. And I'm sure all of you can connect with the idea of protection, protecting your heart, having your heart broken. One thing that was really profound for me to understand was that for me, in particular in my journey, I've done a lot of work around healing my connection to my mother, the mother wound, but also the great mother, Mother Gaia, right? Our Mother Earth. And for many of us, the first time our hearts were broken was by our mothers, right? So we have, and it doesn't necessarily need to be anything hugely traumatic, but just because that's the first portal of love that we have, that love connection that we have, and just by the very nature of being human, being left to cry a little bit or not being fully heard or seen as a child, that's when the first protection mechanism comes into play. And so I just wanted to say that because so many of us have so many layers of protection upon our hearts, right? And some of them come from other lifetimes. Some of them are also ancestral. So in the activation today, we are going to be bringing your awareness into the heart and activating more of your heart, bringing online more of your heart, so that you can start to receive from the intelligence that you have within your heart. Your heart is also a brain, right? You have your mind brain, you have your heart brain, and you have your gut brain. Just using one is really, when they talk about, oh, we only, when I was younger growing up, one of the statistics was we're only using 10% of our brains, right? What else could be going on in our brains if we're only using 10% of our brains? Some of that percentage that's missing is the percentage of the brain of the intelligence of our heart, right? And also the intelligence that is activated when the heart mind come into coherence, and more of that intelligence comes online. We are quantum beings. Yes, we're flesh and bone, but we're quantum beings. We're energetic beings. And so today we're going to be going into the quantum field and flicking switches on, bringing energetic resonance, turning stuff on within the body, within your energetic field, and just allowing connection to come online and more of your mind's intelligence and your heart's intelligence to come online. Why? So that you can better navigate this 3D realm of reality. But not only that, so that you can expand into other realms of reality, other perceptions. So we talk about the 4D, the 5D. Obviously, there's 6, 7, 8, 9. There's so many dimensions, right? But 4D and 5D have been talked about a lot recently. Like, we're coming into the 4D, we're moving into, we want to come into this 5D collective way of living, this heart consciousness, this new earth living, right? Which is the fifth dimensional realm. Right now, the way that most of us are programmed, we can't reach that realm because not enough of our heart intelligence has come online, not enough of coherence has come online with the mind and the heart. And that's what partly today is also about. It's activating and expanding more light within your atoms, within your body, within your light body, so that you can expand on your perception of reality and come more into 5D living, right? The 5D new earth, because it's about living from the heart. It's not about coming from fear. It's not lower realm living, fear, suffering, pain, control. It's heart living, love, trust, peace, light, right? It's coming more from that space. So yeah, let me just feel into whether anything else wants to come through. Now, obviously this is a recording. It's pre-recorded. I haven't done this live. So if there are any questions, please feel free, wherever you're watching this video, if there's comments below that you can comment, write your questions and I will respond. Email me, right? Respond to the email that you received this in and email me with your questions. I want nothing more than to give you as much as you desire around this. Yeah, whatever questions you have, I'm here to answer them. So let me just feel into whether there's anything else that wants to come through. when we go into the quantum, now, of course, we're earthly beings, yeah? We're humans. We're not the only beings within our universe. There's star seeds, there's other planetary beings, there's, Source, there's Mother, Gaia, there's gods and goddesses, Egyptian gods and goddesses, Greek gods and goddesses of the highest light, right? We only work within the highest realms. We have our spirit guides, we have our spirit teams, we have lots of multidimensional versions of ourselves, we have our soul families, right? Again, if this is all new to you, which it's probably not for most of you, but if it is, just allow it, and you can always ask me more. But we're going to be tuning into the quantum, and we're going to actually be working with Atlantean energies. They lived a golden age of civilization. They also fell, but they have technologies, especially within the realms of the mind, that are super powerful, that I have been working with. They're very potent. They're super high frequency, intelligent frequencies and technologies. So just be aware that when we go into that realm, we're going to be working with those beings. And you may also have, your own galactic team come online to support you, your own spirit guides, your own ancestors come online to support this. There's a reason that you're watching this. Your soul has brought this to you, brought this to your awareness for a reason. There's a version of you somewhere within the quantum field that has planned this out for you. There's medicine in this for you. Allow yourself to receive it. So yeah, I think what needed to come through has come through. There was no notes for this. I just felt like I wanted to record this training, this lesson, this transmission, these codes. So now let's go into the activation. So make yourself comfortable, pause the recording if you need to have a toilet break, or if you need to get comfortable. Make sure you have water, right? So water is such a powerful component of this kind of work. We are made of water. We are primarily water. Our atoms are water. When we work within the quantum and we come into the body and we activate energy within the body, we need water in order to support that process. So drink lots of water before, drink lots of water after, and continue. Just drink water all of the time. That was something that I never did, and always felt very depleted when I was doing energy work. So drink lots of water. Okay. So closing down the eyes if you feel safe enough to do so. And again, this is one thing. Listen to this more than once if you feel called to, right? Because each time you listen to it, this is the teaching and also the recording, this activation, you're going to uncover new layers. You're going to have more aha moments, and you're going to go deeper within the activation. So don't feel as though this is a one-time thing. This is yours. You have this to keep. It's an abundance of energy for you, of love, of light for you. So it's for you to play with whenever you need to play with it. And the other thing that I want to say is this work, it's so playful. Being in the quantum If you've been in there before, if you've worked with the quantum before, it can be such a playful experience. When I was a child, and I'm sure when you were a child and maybe you didn't realize it, maybe you did, but I was so aware of being in I used to play in the quantum. I was an only child, so I didn't have brothers and sisters to play with, right? I was quite a lonely child. And I've had to work through a lot of that emotional stuff, right? But the medicine of being an only child and having that experience was that I played in the quantum consistently. And I knew no different. I never thought, oh, what's this weird place that I'm playing in? Like, it was just, that's where I'd come from. And it was just a continuation of that. And I grew out of it and, was traumatized out of it and shamed out of it, or whatever you want to say. And now I'm back in that realm, but it's such a playful realm. Your inner child will love being in this realm because honestly, anything is possible. Whatever you can command anything within that realm. You get given tools to play with. With clients and stuff, they end up with magic wands or orbs of golden light, or rainbows of whatever, like literally anything that your mind can conjure up, anything that you can allow yourself to play with in that realm is possible. And you will be given things by your spirit team. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a beautiful crystal technology for the mind that was given to me by my Atlantean family, my Atlantean brothers and sisters, where I've had lifetimes, right? And so I have a deep connection with the Atlantean, with Atlantis, with Atlantean lineage. And in fact, Atlantis and the Atlanteans they had mind mastery. Yeah. They could do things with their minds. When you see in Matilda where she can like look at something and with her mind move it, that's the kind of realms of mind mastery I'm talking about. That is actually your mind can do that. It probably won't do that whilst you're in the 3D realm because it's just too much for it to take on. But there's potential for that. That's the kind of potential I'm talking about when we're talking about the potential of your mind, right? And Atlanteans, they were a civilization that had mind mastery, that were able to create such beautiful realities using their minds. And so the technology that we're going to be using today, we're going to be introduced to today, that I'm going to introduce you to today, is going to open up your mind to receiving that intelligence, more of that intelligence in the form of light. Okay, so closing down the eyes. Begin taking deep breaths into the heart. And just settling into the body. And as you breathe into your heart space, if the mind starts to chatter, just as we did earlier, just letting it know that it's safe, that it can just relax for a moment, that actually what we're doing is supporting it with an upgrade. It can go into retreat. Yeah, this is a special time for the mind. Allow it to soften and allow it to just hand over the reins to its friend, its companion, the heart. So breathing into the heart space. And as you breathe into the heart space, just allow the energy of the grand central sun to start to activate within your heart portal. This beautiful golden light. With every breath in, this golden light expanding and activating the portal of your heart. And the more that this beautiful golden light expands, the more that your heart comes online, the more that it activates. And the more that it activates, the more that it energetically expands. And the more that it energetically expands, I want you to feel it gently, lovingly moving through any layers of protection that are ready to dissolve now, that are ready just to let go. Breathing in and just allowing the heart to expand, the radiance of the grand central sun to bring healing to your heart portal, to activate your heart portal. And as it expands, just right in the center of your heart, just feeling an activation, feeling an opening into otherworldly portals, the quantum, and just feeling the back of your heart starting to activate and open now too. And as the back of your heart starts to open, just in your mind's eye, just seeing the full spectrum of what's available to you within your heart portal, the access to the quantum that it allows, the expansiveness, the abundance of what you hold within your heart, or what you hold within this sacred vessel of your human body, that it holds this technology, this portal into other realms, into other dimensions, into infinite potentiality. And just allowing your heart, just being in your heart for a moment, feeling the expansion of your heart. And now activating asking the crystalline frequency of your heart to activate. And as it activates, just seeing this beautiful crystalline, almost diamond, but it's not solid. It's a frequency come online within your heart space. And this diamond technology, this frequency, this crystal frequency, this crystalline frequency, is some of the most intelligent frequency, intelligent technology that you have and that you can use within your heart space. And just knowing that this crystalline frequency, this crystalline technology goes above and beyond any other layers of protection that you have used to protect the vulnerability of your heart, to protect yourself, to protect your love, to protect yourself from being hurt. So as this crystalline light comes online, as it expands within your heart center, just know that it is the only protection that you need, because its frequency is so divine, it's so high frequency, its intelligence is so potent, the light quota within it is so high, is so abundant, that nothing in the lower and middle realm of reality, of dimensional reality, can even be present within your heart space when you've activated this technology. And just feeling then that connection with your heart, that clean and clear truth, knowing that what's emanating is the highest light, and it's the highest love, and it's the highest realms of abundance held within your heart portal right now. And even if you just did that every day and just expanded that crystalline light out to encompass your entire body and your entire energy field as a field of light, you'd be walking through your day in your highest. It's a really beautiful technology that you can use. Now allowing that crystalline light to move up past the throat, activating your throat chakra, activating your third eye chakra, up into your crown, and allowing your crown to activate with this crystalline light, opening the crown and moving up into your star soul chakra, which is above, way above your head, allowing that portal to activate as your crystalline light moves up from the crown, coming from the heart all the way up out of the crown and activating your soul star portal. And as this portal activates and opens, just knowing that you are now able to connect with your highest soul selves. And connecting with your highest soul selves now and just asking them to be present, to play with you in this activation, to support you, to guide you, to give you everything that you need as we play within this quantum field of heart-mind resonance. Bringing online all of the necessary soul aspects of you, highest soul aspects of you needed right now in this moment for this activation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then allowing that energy from the heart to rise up even higher and activate up into your soul family portal, activating your soul family portal, activating up even higher into those realms and asking all aspects of your soul family across all galactic realms, across all dimensions, to play with you, to work with you, to support you in this moment in time for this quantum activation of heart-mind resonance. And just trusting that any highest frequency guides, soul family, gods, goddesses, galactic beings that you're connected to are coming online now to support this quantum activation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then finally allowing that beautiful light from your heart to reach up, up, up into the ethers and connect with Source. And as it connects with Source, the energy of all that is, the universal creator energy, as it connects, allowing a abundance of waterfall of energy to pour down, back down into your heart, allowing this connection, this loop of connection to connect back into the heart, showering you with the highest frequency, light and love and abundance. And coming back into the heart space and just feeling connected from the crown up, right? Just feeling the expansion of your energy up into these higher frequency realms. And now to bring into balance, coming into the heart space and drawing the energy down past the solar plexus, activating the solar plexus, activating the sacral chakra, and moving down into the root, activating the root chakra, allowing the root, your root portal, to come online, to open, with the intention of connecting with the heart of Gaia, the heart of this physical planet. Because it's one thing to be connected to the quantum and to the ethers above, but being human, it's a whole nother to come into deep connection with our abilities to physically manifest on this planet, and deeply connecting with Mother Gaia, the grids of Mother Gaia, the love, the heart, the safety, the nurture, the abundant flow from our Holy Mother, our Great Mother. So allowing your energy from your heart now to move down into, firstly, the oceanic realms, the water realms, activating the water portals of Mother Gaia, connecting with the oceans upon this planet, allowing your energy to move all the way down into the oceans and hitting the ground beneath the oceans, and then making its way down into the grids, the earth grids of Mother Gaia. And I witness this as dragon energy. The dragon energy, the dragon's tail moving down from the base of our spines and piercing and grounding into, as our Mother Gaia lovingly opens to receive us, just connecting and plugging into this ever-flowing, overflowing, abundant energy that we have available to us from the Great Mother. And as we plug in, we begin to receive her codes. We begin to receive her love. We begin to receive her intelligence, bringing it all the way up into the heart. And now activating our heart portal with not only the intelligence from above, from source, from our higher realms, but also from the portal of our Great Mother, from the higher realms of our physical realities. The abundance that we have available to us, that Mother Earth shows us that we have available to us as humanity on her precious lands, the luscious, luscious green rainforests, the water flowing, the sacred waters flowing through oceans and rivers across mountains, the abundance of fruits and vegetables and food available to us that's grown upon her, the warmth from the sun, the shelter that she can provide us, everything that we need, the air that we breathe that fills our lungs. There's an abundance of it all available to us at all times. Any perception otherwise is an illusion. So allowing her to feed you those codes, give you that remembrance, activate that abundance within your heart portal now through her connection with you now. And coming back into your heart space and placing yourself, like shrinking yourself down and placing yourself within the crystalline chamber of your heart now. And just as you look around, just seeing the crystalline, crystal space that you're in, this Atlantean space. And if you feel safer, if your guides have somewhere else that you feel better resonance with, then allow yourself to be taken there. But know that your highest soul selves will guide you to exactly where you need to be in this moment in time. So for many of you, just like for me right now, it will be this crystalline chamber. And almost as if looking through, the highest frequency crystal, you can see, all the colors of the rainbow glistening within the walls of this chamber, right? Now, just seeing a bed of crystalline light forming within the center of this chamber, and allow yourself to lie down. And as you lie down, actually, this chair now, this bed now it moves up and creates this beautiful reclining chair for you, molding to your body. And as your body's seated upon it, immediately you're starting to receive the codes of the intelligence of this crystalline light that this chair is made of. And just allowing your body to receive these codes for a moment. These codes are the highest frequency lights, and they're activating more light within your body, more light within each and every cell within the atoms of your physical body, making spaciousness within your body. It's actually activating your nervous system along the whole length of your spine. Your nervous system now is, that spinal cord is lit up with the most beautiful crystalline light. And any density within that is being dissolved now and being recoded into the highest frequency light once again. And just allowing the light to work its magic. Just taking a moment within this crystalline chamber. For your body to receive these codes. And each and every one of you will be receiving a unique coding. That's how abundant this quantum field is. There's magic for all of us. In our own unique way, we will be receiving the exact coding that our physical body, that our light bodies need in this moment in time. For whatever reason that you have been guided into this activation. And just knowing that that activation of crystalline light will continue to expand in your body, expanding each and every cell. And the more light quota that your cells and your light body is able to hold, that's more abundance that you're also holding, an abundance of light, an abundance of love, an abundance of anything, of joy, of experience, of spaciousness within your field, within your mind, within your body, within your heart. And just knowing that that is continuing now. And as the Atlanteans step forward in this chamber, just allowing them to make themselves known to you, however that may be. And I'm seeing them bowing in reverence to you, right? All of these high vibrational beings come with the highest light and love for us. They see our truth, they see our love, they see our potential. And the quantum technology that they are sharing with you today is this beautiful crystalline V-shaped crown that sits at the back of your head, cradling your skull, right? And they're now placing that and locking it into the base of your skull. And those crystals are activating the crystalline codes within your mind. And as that is placed there, as you receive that, so just allowing yourself to receive. If you feel like you don't want to receive, you don't have to. This is all about free will. This is all about you being in your highest power. But just saying yes if you want to receive it, and allowing them to place that technology as it cradles the base of your skull, and as it enters the energetic portal of your mind, it's just bringing online your entire mind. And I'm just seeing it now as this beautiful, almost blue, white, crystalline glow that's occurring within your mind. And as that occurs, all the neural pathways are coming online. They're sparking alive. They're opening up, right? And just know that this isn't an too much energy being activated in your mind. What it's doing is it's activating all of the pathways that were asleep, that weren't activated, that weren't able to process the energy that your mind was receiving. And maybe that's what was causing the overwhelm. That's what's causing the mental realm to be burdened. So as the mind fully comes online and all of these neural pathways are opening, lighting up, just lots of beautiful blue, white, crystalline threads of energy, just all connecting, all coming online now in the mind, and just bringing a sense of peace to the mind. A sense of somewhere for that energy to make a home. And as this occurs, the crystalline technology that was placed in the base of your spine now grows and takes shape at the front of your forehead. And these crystals begin to activate in the front of your forehead, and particularly the biggest crystal activating now in your third eye. Just allowing that to happen. The neural pathways still activating, still coming online, still making connections, expanding the potential of your mind, expanding the intelligence of your mind, bringing it all online. It was always there. It's now just coming online even more. And as your third eye comes online with this beautiful crystalline technology, just allowing your vision, your perception to shift. This is what's happening now as your mind comes online at a greater level. Your perception broadens, your vision broadens, your potentiality of what you can believe in broadens, right? Don't get all muddled up into what that means. Just trust that process and trust that it will be revealed to you as you integrate over the next few weeks and months. You may be feeling a tingling around your head, and especially at the front, at the third eye, and especially down at the back where this technology is integrating, where it's all coming online, where these beautiful crystalline Atlantean crystals, this technology is activating the power of your mind. And as this continues to do so, from the base of your skull, the crystal that was placed there, it's now moving down into the heart space, and it's activating and connecting with the crystalline technology of your heart. And all of those crystals, that technology that was placed into the base of your skull, they're all drawing down now and connecting with, plugging into the crystalline portal of your beautiful heart. And electrical signals connection is flowing to and from your mind and your heart now, bringing your mind intelligence and your heart intelligence into coherence. Allowing that to flow for a moment. Opening up new pathways of connection, of communication between the heart and the mind. Almost like brother, sister, sister to sister, brother to brother. It doesn't really matter what gender we're talking about here. It's just deep connection, deep coherence, alignment, reverence, trust, love. Vowing that within you, both mind and heart will work together in the highest frequency of coherence in order to support the highest timeline, the highest co-creation for you in your reality now. And as that fully grounds in, as your mind technology grounds into your heart technology, and as your heart technology activates up into the mind, that crystalline crown that was activated lights up even brighter, and even more neural pathways are coming online and connecting. And as that is occurring, your entire network of energetic pathways within the body starts to light up. All pathways are connecting on a whole new dimensional level. Parts of you all coming online that have been dormant. All of your organs lighting up, all of the atoms lighting up. From the tips of your toes to the top of your head to the tips of your fingertips. All of you is glowing now with these strands of connective energies. Bringing your entire body and your entire light body into a whole new resonance, into a higher frequency activation. Even your DNA now is being activated to a higher frequency. Strands of DNA now coming online that were dormant, that were previously dormant. A whole DNA reactivation, lighting up in this beautiful blue crystalline light frequency that's been activated by the coming online of the coherence of your heart mind. And just feeling that as that resonates through your body, as all atoms begin to vibrate at that higher frequency, as all DNA strands come online, as all organs begin to resonate at that higher frequency. And now that is being absorbed by your blood, by the waters in your body, a complete blood and water reconfiguration into a higher frequency. And anything that doesn't match this frequency is just dissolving. Is dissolving into that beautiful crystalline bed that you are lying upon. A whole reconfiguration, whole quantum shift as you align your heart, mind, intelligence. Just as that comes into completion, just thanking all aspects, all light beings, all soul family that were taking part. Thanking the Atlanteans. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And just feeling that frequency shift in your body. You may want to just roll your neck. It feels extremely stiff. Oh. Just slowly bringing life back into this physical body now. And just allowing that chamber of crystalline light just to slowly dissolve as you come back into this dimension of reality that you exist in this human body, within which you exist in this human body. And just wiggling those fingers and toes. Whew. And just coming back. Slowly coming back into this present moment. Just feeling the shift in your frequency. You may be feeling very lightheaded. So much work was done. So many neural pathways were activated. Drinking so much water just to allow for that frequency to ground in. Eating something so that you can ground into your body. Whenever you can. Knowing that this upgrade is going to integrate over days, weeks, potentially months. Just allow the integration process to take as long as it needs to take. And as this integration process takes place, because a huge quantity of light has been received, and know that you will only have received what you are able to receive at this moment in time. You have only activated what your body, what your psyche, what your soul was allowing you to activate in this moment in time. It's all divinely orchestrated. But just knowing that such a high light quote, there's been an expansion of light in your field, in your atoms, in your DNA, in your mind, in your heart. And with that expansion can come a purge, right? Depending on how much of this work you have done, will depend on how much of a purge and how much your body can take from that purge. So just know if emotions start to flow, if all these kind of crazy limiting thought patterns come up, just know they're purging. Just have compassion. Just bring yourself into your heart. Radiate love towards the mind if those thoughts are in the mind. Radiate love into the emotions. Witness them, witness yourself. Allow what needs to come up. Hold yourself in that. If you feel as though you need extra support, come into my email me. I'm here for you. I can support you with it. Nothing is beyond you. This is all you, right? Everything you've encountered within the quantum realm is you, because we are all that is. We are all connected. We are all one. We are all part of Source. We are all part of this universe. So please don't hesitate to connect and ask any questions. I would also really love to hear how this has landed with you, what you've experienced, if you have any questions. And of course, if you want to take this work deeper, if you want to have a structure to this work that can support you either on your soul mission or on your life's path, or just in your ascension, in your understanding of being here on earth, then connect with me. I have mentorship spaces available where we do this in a really structured way, and we work so beautifully with your soul and connect with what you need and bring in the activations that you need and bring online your own soul activations, your own soul gifts, your own quantum technologies. Like that crown technology was given to me by the Atlanteans when I went into the quantum field one day. Probably when I was questioning what was going on in my mind, I received that. And so it's been a complete honor to share that with you. And I hope it serves you well. So you know where I am if you want to connect, ask any questions, share, take this work further. But thank you very much. Sending you all so much love. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing on this journey.